Good morning, YouTube. Today we're not going to be playing with supercars. We're going to be playing with my truck and install some suspension load levelers from Timbren.
So are you recording all of the nefarious activities?
If you're new to the channel, my name is Dan and this is my dealership NG Supercars. And well, we're usually playing with supercars, but today we got to put some load levelers in my truck. So I've got a 44-foot gooseneck car hauler, and unfortunately when you put that on the truck, I don't have any load leveling system on it, so it kind of squats the rear of the truck. And my headlights end up pointing up just enough that everyone flashes their brights at me and they think my brights are on, which they aren't. Well, I guess it probably decreases the ride quality, makes it maybe a little bit bouncy. So we're gonna put in those Timbren load levelers, and I decided not to do airbags because I didn't want to put in an airbag compressor and deal with all that crap. And these look like they're super quick and easy to install. Why not, right? And they were much, much cheaper and supposedly have no maintenance and blah, blah, blah. So Timbren gives you a whole list of excuses of why you should do this and be lazy as opposed to spending more money and installing airbags. They convinced me. So I'm gonna give it a shot and see how it works out. So what we're gonna do first is take the truck, put it out there, and put the trailer on the hitch and see how much it makes it squat. So I'm gonna measure the height from the wheel to the bottom of the wheel house, the fender, and then put the trailer on and see how much it squats down. And then we'll do it with the Timbrens afterwards and see how much of a difference it makes, if at all. Now, it doesn't seem to make too much of a difference when I put the bumper pull trailer on, but it's a much smaller trailer with a lot less weight. I don't know, we'll see what happens, and hopefully this will help increase the drivability when I'm hauling the two-car hauler. All right, I'm hiding under the gooseneck because it's super windy, otherwise you won't be able to hear me, but you can see it's not hooked up yet, so let's measure the gap on the wheel. All right, you can see it's just a tiny bit below 11 inches. So let's load the trailer. All right, hitch is fully seated. Let's see where we're at now. Oh yeah, almost down to 9 inches, slightly below, so it came down 2 inches. That's what she said.
That's what she said. Or he said.
All right, let's get the trailer off the hitch and I'll go install those guys and see if it makes any difference. My plan got foiled. I was going to back the truck in and use the two-post lift just to jack up the rear of it because I don't have a jack that goes that high. So we're gonna have to jerry rig some stuff to make this work. We'll figure it out, but we need to get it up in the air so that the axles are hanging down in the rear. So we don't need to lift the whole weight of the truck, just the rear of the truck, which is admittedly the lightest part of the truck, but still not exactly light. All right, I used my jack with the lift block for our quick jacks, and it wasn't quite enough to get the wheels off, but it's enough that it's alleviated any pressure. So there's the factory suspension stops, and we're gonna be replacing those with this guy right here. So it's pretty simple. So I'll try and shove the camera in there as much as I can, but let's try and replace these things and see how it works.
12 seconds later.
I am off to the world's worst start. The kit didn't come with the bolts it needs, so even though it says that it's supposed to have bolts, there's no bolts in the kit. So I guess I gotta run to the Home Depot and get some more M10 by 1.5 40 millimeter bolts. Yay, thanks guys. You're not exactly getting my endorsement now. Better work decently for the hassle I'm having to go through. What's supposed to be a quick, easy job is not being quick and easy.
Eventually.
Okay, so hour later and a couple bucks later, I have my M10 1.5 by 40 millimeter bolts. So we can now bolt this guy to this guy, and then this guy gets bolted in place where the original bump stops are. Round two, we'll jack it up, pull out those bump stops, which, by the way, this is easy. It's legitimately easy. So that's the good news. Missing the bolts. Come on, step up your game, Timbra. All right, got my electric ratchet with a 5/8 inch socket, which, interesting enough, I can't decide, are these metric or not? I mean, like, it's a Ram, it's American, but is it using standard? I don't know. Anyway, so there's our bump stop, and let's see, so I gotta get this guy in there. Okay. And these are going to come off easier than the other side because I already had this off before I realized I needed the other bolts. So that one's off. And there we go. Now, we do reuse these bolts, so don't lose them. But there's the original bump stop. No longer needed. All right, so this is the new mount that we're gonna put where the old one was, and then once that's in, we're gonna attach one of these little guys to the bottom of it. You do have to attach this first because it will block right there. That's where one of the bolts goes, so you gotta put this in first, that in second. All right, you can kind of see what's going on here. Let's get one of these in. Okay, this is the left side. Okay, and it's like that. Oh, that doesn't. Nope. They do have it backwards. They're not doing it according to looking at it from the back. They're doing it from looking at the front. So use the left one on the passenger side, which is not typically how you would do it. Because, you know, right-hand drive and stuff. All right, well, good to know. It is backwards. I don't know exactly how far forward or back I need it. Kind of center. Oops. All right, there's that. Okay. Oh no, need a short extension. Finally, I have to do this all by feel. Oh, that was surprisingly easier than expected. There we go. Theoretically, that one's done. Let's do the other side. I guess that's it. So let's drop it down and see what the compression looks like. Okay, let's see how it looks. Oh yeah, it's got about a finger, so maybe an inch before it gets to it. I think I'll probably leave it like that because that means you have a little bit of extra suspension before it really starts to get tighter, which will be nice just driving down the road regularly, which is most of the time. All right, let's put the trailer on it and see what happens. All right, we're back under the gooseneck. We're gonna measure once it's loaded up and see if it makes any difference. So we were at like 9, I think. So we'll see if it's maybe somewhere closer to 10. Huh. Yeah, so it's like 9 3/4. So it makes a little difference, not a ton of difference. I could put in those extra blocks. I feel like it's gonna ride like shit then. I'm not gonna do that. People can just deal with the headlights. But hey, that little difference on an angle should make it hopefully be much better. So success-ish. Now I guess the question is, what's it like when we actually drive it, which I won't know until next week. So I'm not planning to haul anything until next week. And I'm taking a big drive out to Arizona, so 1,000 miles each way, and picking up some cars. So I'll have a better idea after that, which won't be in this video, unfortunately. So you should probably like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you after that. Well, there you have it. We installed the load levelers. We'll see how it works once I actually got the trailer with some stuff on it. I think it's gonna make a pretty substantial difference once the trailer is actually loaded, because I didn't really get a whole lot of like people flashing me when there was nothing in the trailer. It was mostly once I had 2 cars in the trailer, and then it's got some weight really pushing down on the truck. So then it really was squatting. Unloaded the trailer, raised it by what, like half an inch or so. Not a whole lot. So we'll see what it's like once it's loaded, and I'll tell you how the ride quality is, if it's improved or not, and if the truck feels more stable and stuff. So anyway, there you go. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Check out normalguysupercar.com. That's where we sell parts and services, and of course our dealership, NG Supercars, where you can buy some incredible cars. But we'll see you guys doing some more cool car stuff, so you're gonna want to stay tuned, and truck stuff. It's gonna be sweet.